Hello and welcome to a Monster Mechanics mini episode where we're talking about what creature would be most delicious.
Mythical creatures that are delicious.
Yeah, I think I want to put a little bit of a caveat on this one. I hope this doesn't screw you up. I would like to avoid talking about anything that is sentient as in this context.
Well, I guess I'll have to get back to you in a week. No, I think we can still carry on.
Yeah, I think that's a little darker than we probably want to go right now.
Yeah, I was considering a bunch of options, and the conclusion I came to is like, for the most part, like predatory species taste pretty terrible.
I had the exact same thing. I was looking at griffins and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? No, people don't eat lions for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their meat just tastes awful.
It can be very dangerous, actually. Mm-hmm. Organ meat from predators can be very bad for you. I know that most predatory species, if you eat I think it's the liver of a predatory species, you can get hypervitamin A syndrome. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to go into the details now, but you do not want hypervitamin A syndrome. It is super bad. Bad things happen to your bones. That's as far as I'm going to say on that one.
Isn't it more likely to catch prion diseases from predator animals?
Prions, I don't know about. I know that's specifically cannibalism.
That's true.
So that's one of the theorized origins of mad cow disease is by feeding bits of cow to other cow is how that got started, I think. Yeah, so definitely avoid. I think we're going to avoid eating anything human, and then we're probably going to avoid most predators. So what do you have? What's your?
So I've got 3 to choose from.
Oh yeah, me too.
The first and probably most obvious one is unicorn meat.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's got to be just like better horse, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of. I imagine it to be like you probably got to pick out like the glitter, but
yeah,
yeah. I'm betting unicorn steaks taste fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that came to mind immediately was rock meat.
Ooh, yeah.
Because can you imagine a smoked turkey leg that's the size of a car, basically?
In that same vein, I was also thinking, oh man, you get a nice like dry rub going on like some Pegasus wings.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I was also okay. I want to have a special mention for these 2 goats specifically, Tangrusnir and Tangrotster, which are the 2 goats that pull Thor's his chariot in Norse mythology.
Oh yeah.
And they have a special superpower, which is that every night he can slaughter them, eat them, and then they regrow in the morning.
They get kind of robbed on the superpower.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's a thing that he does in all of his stories all the time. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna slaughter these goats and we're gonna eat them, and then in the morning they're back again. That's
pretty amazing. So another one I was considering was just get yourself like a brace of jackalope. Oh
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get some jackalope. Or no, what you want is, what's the name of it? Oh crap. There is like the jackalope plus, like the Pegasus jackalope.
Someone just needs to crossbreed a chicken with a spider so you can just get all those drumsticks.
Yeah, the Volpertinger is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, right.
Which is it's got the antlers like a jackalope, but it's also got wings and fangs. Because it's literally a creature created by taxidermists who are just like grabbing crap out of their like discards drawer and putting them together. But yeah, so you get like rabbit wings. You make some hot wings out of that. That'd be delicious.
That would be excellent.
I was just gonna say the one I also thought of was the Periton, which is it's like a stag, like it's like a multicolored deer or antelope with wings. Mm-hmm. And I love the origin for the Periton since it's been brought up, which is that in 1957 a dude just added it to his book of imaginary beings as like, oh yeah, this is totally a legend from way back in the day. Then a bunch of people believed him, and it like retroactively got thrown into a bunch of fantasy and stuff, and like it's in World of Warcraft and everything now. But it literally was just some dude being like, yeah, this is a thing I'm going to add to the list.
Yeah, I remember it showing up in the D&D Monstrous Manuals way back in the age of like first, second edition. I had no idea the origins of it, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's literally just some dudes like, oh yeah, that's for sure, that's a real thing. Yeah, and then everybody just rolled with it.
To pull from one other quote unquote mythology, I have to wonder how bantha steaks taste.
Oh yeah,
I bet they taste a bit like bison.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, gotta be, or kind of a maybe a bit like elephant, although I haven't eaten elephant.
I haven't either. Couldn't verify that.
Yeah, it's got that like sort of large quality. Yeah, or maybe also they're also a desert dwelling species, so you could think maybe camel too.
Mm-hmm.
Which have I eaten camel? I think I've had a camel burger.
I can't say that I have.
There's a chain of burger joints up here in North Texas they will bring in game meats. And I think I had the camel one once. I know I've had kangaroo, but of course, I don't have a sense of smell, so all ground meat is like ground meat to me. So,
Oh yeah.
we also didn't pull in any aquatic species. I feel like there's got to be there's the kelpie, which is the sea, like a water horse, which would be an option. Oh man, can you imagine kraken calamari?
Oh yeah.
Just these huge. Yeah, that's awesome.
Isn't there a creature from D&D that's like basically sentient kelp? I know it's not a kelpie because.
No, I don't know. You'd know what better than I would about that one.
But I'll have to find the name for that later. But I was thinking make a sushi wrap with
That's good. Okay, I just remembered at the last second. The vegetable lamb of Tartary.
The what now?
It's a plant that was supposed to have been. This is like a European legend about a far off place. So they're thinking of like Central Asia, and it is a plant that grows a sheep. So like a little stalk comes up out of the ground, and then a bud forms at the end of that, and then a sheep grows from that bud, and then eventually the sheep is attached to the ground via like a vine from its belly down to the root system, and it eats all of the grass within the range of that vine. And so that's got to have a really interesting culinary quality to it.
This sounds like the natural progression of synthetic meat processing.
I actually have a theory. I don't even know if this is official or if I just made this up. I think I know the origin of this legend, which is that blackberry plants might be predatory plants, like they might be carnivorous.
Huh.
Specifically, I saw a guy on YouTube talking about how this is his theory that sheep and other woolly animals will get caught in blackberry plants and then die. They'll die of starvation or dehydration. And then them rotting into the ground feeds the blackberry plant. This guy, I think, was actually a shepherd. And so this was something he kept coming across where he would have to save his sheep from blackberry plants. And so now I'm thinking of if somebody was to see this occasionally, like when they're wandering through the hills of Scotland or something like that, and you see like a creature trapped in a blackberry plant, you could spawn this idea of an animal which is growing from the plant instead. Well, I think on that note, I think those are some really capable qualities. If anybody else has ideas of what kind of mythical creature you would like to taste, you would, and then also for that matter, we didn't talk at all about preparations. Like we were talking a little bit about just what it would be, but we'll have to get some. If you can come up with a recipe for us, I want to hear about it. Send it to us at our Twitter @MonsterMPod. And other than that, next week we are going to be talking about weeping angels. All right, bye.
All right, till next time.
Thanks for listening to this Monster Mechanics mini episode. So I'd normally be plugging a bunch of social media accounts, but I think you've heard all those by now. So instead, I've got a quick request. We're a pretty small podcast. In terms of listenership, which means there are a lot of people out there who would love our special brand of bullshit if only they heard it. Does anyone in your life, wonder about how centaur pelvises work, or want to hear about hive minds, or how much of a weenie predators are? Maybe slip a recommendation to their tweets or in a text message, or talk to them, or, just steal their phone and sign our RSS feed up to their podcatcher. That'd be very helpful. Thank you. Anyway, on to the credits. Monster Mechanics is produced and edited by me, Scott Paladin, and hosted by myself and my best friend, Zach Jaquays. All the ideas generated during this podcast are released under a do what the f*** you want public license.